In this video, I'm going to tackle the topic about drought in Kenya. Drought in Kenya has been a menace, a problem that we have not been able to solve for such a long time. We have spent billions of Kenya shillings to tackle drought, yet we have not found solution to our problem. Within a period of every 3 to 4 years, we are back in the same place. We are back in the same problem of trying to feed those Kenyans that are facing famine, facing drought. We've lost lives, we've lost livestock, and much more has been lost on the way. We've also lost wild animals. These wild animals bring us foreign currency in terms of tourism. We have built dams and ponds over time that has cost us a fortune. Yet we know very well that we have insufficient rain over time. We've been having problem with rain. Today I'm going to provide some solutions, and I believe if the government of Kenya find this video and think about it, they will get a solution to this problem. Because the solution doesn't lie in rain. We have been depending on rain for such a long time, which is not good. We need to emulate the example of United Arab Emirates. We need to emulate the example of Israel. We need to think about Egypt. Those countries, they don't have rain at all. They don't have a natural rain. Yet a country like Israel produces fruits and export much more of fruits to the entire world. In UAE, you can allow a tap to run throughout the day and no one will ask you about it because there's plenty of water. Yet, the country only has a sea surrounding, a salty sea surrounding its, just nearby. And if I compare this with Kenya, Kenya is called the riverbed. The riverbed. More than 50% of water that goes through River Nile comes from Kenya. There are a lot of rivers all over Kenya that can help Kenyans to to solve this problem of drought. We have rivers all over Kenya. And there are fresh water rivers, fresh water. It means we don't need to distill, we don't need to do anything to the water. It's good for consumption. It's good for consumption. It's good for agriculture. We don't need, it cannot kill plants. It cannot destroy plants or do anything. It's fresh. But still, we are not focusing on what we have. We are focusing on what we don't have, which is rain. We don't have rain. We need to focus on what we have. We have rivers. All over Kenya, we have rivers. I was watching one of the parliamentary proceeding, and there was this one parliamentarian who stood up and said, we cannot give Kenyans water because water is very expensive. And I was so sad. Because we have invested billions of money and made it expensive, which is not true. Water is not expensive in Kenya because there is plenty of water in Kenya. We all need to take the right channel and do the right thing, and water will be all over Kenya. All over Kenya. We need to create a Kenya where you can wake up in the morning and open your tap and go to work without worry of anything about water. We should put this behind us. We can only achieve this if we consider our rivers, if we consider what we have. We have the best. I am very sure that the much you've spent so far to tackle drought, building ponds, building dams, can be much more than what we could have spent in piping water. We just need to pipe water from these rivers. Look at the closest location for every county. Every county should have at least one big generator to push water to its the community around. Push water throughout. Big generators that can push thousands of liters per minute, thousands of liters per minute. We can do this. It will be much more cheaper to do this than to keep on constructing dams, constructing ponds that cost us billions. Yet these ponds, they are waiting for the rain also. As we are waiting, they are also waiting for the rain. It doesn't look good. We've made wrong decisions. We are taking wrong choices. And these choices keep on eating us. It keep on biting us every now and then. I look at children waking up in the morning instead of going to school. They take jerrycans and bottles of water so that they can go and fetch some water, go look for water. They go in the morning, they will come back at night, maybe afternoon. One day I was watching a clip and there's this lady who went in the morning to look for water and come back late afternoon without a drop of water, and she laughed. It was a laughter that I didn't understand where it came from. It looked like the last laugh. You're laughing just to keep your heart beating. You're laughing just to keep going. Because you've cried enough, you cannot cry anymore. You cannot afford to lose drops of tears. You're just keeping it within you. Please, let's look into it. Let's look into it. We can solve this problem if we want to solve this problem. Right now, even those piped waters, those villages and towns that have piped waters, piped water from, for instance, yes, you still cannot use that water to irrigate anything. You have found irrigating, you have found watering your plants or something, they remove all your pipes. Any pipe that is directing water to you is going to be cut out. They don't want that. Yet we can solve a lot of problems that we're facing. We can solve the crisis of food. We can solve the crisis of water. We can solve a lot of crises with just water. Providing water to farmers will make them not rely on seasons of rain. They can plant anytime because there is water. But now farmers are waiting for half a year or even a whole year to have their crop planted. We're just pushing our country deep into the problem. We cannot feed Kenyans. We must import food from Uganda. We must import food from Tanzania. We must import food from Mexico, somewhere else. Why? Yet we have a lot of land. We have a lot of hard-working people. I know Kenyans are hard-working. We just need to give them water. Think of that child who is waking up in the morning instead of going to school to study. He or she is going to look for some water for the household. That is a wasted life. He will never catch up with the rest of the world. She will never catch up with the rest of the world. She will be in the same problem his father and mother have been, his great parents have been, because of lack of water. I wish this can go into the ears of our leaders. I wish it can reach them. Because we can solve this problem in just one bit. We can solve this problem. We can have every county looking for water next, the easiest way to get water, the closest river, closest clean river, collect the water, pump it to the next, to the nearby area. Yeah, we just need to look for the nearby rivers. This river is next to this county, it can feed this county and this county. This lake can feed this, can supply water to this county and this county. And we deal with our problems. As long as we ensure the survival of these rivers, we provide also the necessity that they need. Because a river needs a forest, and a lake needs a river. We just look at our environment, plant trees, indigenous trees. In due time, they will grow, the trees will grow up, and this problem will be solved. But as for now, the best thing to do is not to build dams. The best thing to do is not to build those ponds, because even the ponds are so substandard. I would say that, because even if they capture any amount of rain, since they are not coated with anything that can hold water, it's just soil. The water keep on seeping, going by. In a few months or in a few time, it becomes a mud pool. I'm speaking like this because I know we can solve this problem in no time. We can solve this problem in no time. We just need to look at the correct places, look at the correct way to do it, and we can do it. It might be very expensive to give Kenyan water, but we can give Kenyan water. Kenyans, we can give them water. We can supply them with water. This can be a legacy that no other president has left behind. It can be a new legacy. We have been constructing roads. Yes, they are good. They're making travel easy. They're making it easy for us to supply Kenyans with those Kenyans that need food. We supply them with food because we have roads. Making it easy for the UN, the Red Cross, to take food stuff to these people. But do we need this? Do we really need this? Do we need food stuff? Do we need to rely on on other countries for food stuff? Do we really need to rely on UN and Red Cross and other organizations, WHO, for food stuff? No. We just need to reorganize ourselves and focus on farming. When you supply Kenyans with water, the only other thing you can do is create a plant, an industry for engines, an industry for hydraulics, an industry for mechanical stuff. Create our own kind of machinery to suit our terrain, to suit our soil type, to suit our needs. From where we can do our agriculture the way we want. Supply these farmers with this with these machineries for some costs. Give them a plan. You can use this machine and pay for this time. But first of all, create this environment where every Kenyan can access water. Then we'll go ahead and create a way that every Kenyan can produce in plenty. And we can do this. I'm very sure we can do this. It's very simple. We have the resources. We have the minds. We have the ideas. We have the map. We just need to map our rivers. We need to know this one will supply this area. We know this one will supply this county. This one will serve this county and this other county. And that's it. Because they are located close to these counties. Just look at this map. Just look at this map. We can do this. We can do this in no time, and I believe we can do it. At a cheaper rate, at a cheaper cost than what we are facing now. At a cheaper cost than the food, the contribution we are making toward this famine, toward this drought. We are paying so much for the lives we are losing. We are paying so much for the livestock we are losing. We just need to train these people in these regions where drought hits every now and then on how to do farming in large scale, how to keep their cattle, how to feed, how to grow feeds for these cattle, cows and goats and everything, camels and donkeys. Feeding. They need to have a feeding program, and we'll have plenty. We just also need to see an educated population who will make the right decision. We cannot have an educated population if this child or this boy or this girl is not going to school, wasting his time going to look for water. We cannot resolve conflicts, tribal conflicts and livestock conflicts if we don't have a mind of production. If I can't produce, I always think of stealing because I see my brother there is having 90 cows, I only have none. I will just think of how I will take one from him, or 10, or everything. And that's why we see these tribal clashes here and there. Cattle wrestling. Yeah, we need to focus. We need to focus our mind in building Kenya. We cannot build Kenya while we don't have anything in the stomach. You cannot work when your stomach is empty. Building Kenya will start by giving Kenyans water and not just water to drink, not just water for household, plenty of water for irrigation, for the household and for irrigation. We can do this. We can do this. We just need to purify some water for home use and drinking. And then the rest of the water can go to irrigation as is from the rivers. I believe this is the solution to drought. This is a solution to drought. Please forward this video to different people until we reach our... I wish when you find this, you can forward it and discuss about it, contribute to it. Send your ideas, correct me if I'm wrong, and push it further so that we can have a solution to this drought. We can have a solution to food problem in Kenya. We can have a solution to our education, because our children are not being educated because we lack water. We can solve the problem of cattle wrestling. We can solve conflicts, much more conflicts, because we're having enough on the table. We can secure our wildlife also. Secure our livestock, have plenty, have something to export as well. I tell you it's easy. I believe it's easy. And if it's not easy, no one will do it for us. We need to focus and do it. And if it's hard enough that it cannot be done, try to do it. Let's just try. By trying, we'll find a solution. We'll find an easier way. Instead of waiting for others to help us until we look like beggars. We beg here and there, trying to solve one thing, yet we have all the resources in this country. We have all the resources in Africa. And I tell you one thing, black man cannot be respected. Let me tell you the truth. A black man cannot be respected. Black-skinned man cannot be respected until we build Africa. We need to have a voice, and that voice comes from building Africa. Make Africa great. Have everything in Africa. Stop relying on other continents for supply of these things. Stop producing what we don't need. Start producing what we need first. And that's how to make Africa great. Feed our population, clothe our population, shelter our population, and then look for other things. We can unite, and we can start from one village, spread it to the next village. And after some few days, some few years, we are done, because now country will be uniting to other countries. We'll just be calling them. We need to extend our growth to you. We need to extend our developments to you, of course. just forward this. Let's think about it. We are screaming about poverty, yet we have all the resources. We have all the resources that is needed to build Kenya. We have the minds. If you go somewhere and you say you are Kenyans, you are a Kenyan out in these outside countries, you are respected because of your skill. You are trusted because of your skill. Sometimes even if you don't trust yourself, they believe you can do it, and you end up doing it. As I speak right now, there is a Kenyan who is going to oversee the construction of railway in Arabia, Saudi Arabia, that is. A Kenyan. He's going to oversee it. Why? Because they believe we have the mind, we have the capacity. Why can't we construct our own roads? Why can't we develop our own countries? Why can't we give Kenyans water? Why can't we produce our own food? We rely on other countries. We have the capacity, we have the ability, we just need the leadership. The leadership that will focus on what we have, the leadership that will focus on what we can do, the leadership that will focus on ideas that are Kenyan made. We need to focus. We have borrowed enough. We are borrowing money from China just to construct roads. Yet every year, hundreds of thousands of engineers are graduating from our universities. We are producing engineers, yet we don't trust them. We are producing engineers that cannot construct a road. Why? Must we call the Chinese to construct the road? Did the Chinese know how to construct the road 50 years from back? No. They just trusted the engineers, trusted what their education system, trusted what they are producing every year. Gather those minds together and put them to work. We are producing doctors that cannot treat. People must fly to India or the US to be treated there. Yet we are spending a lot of money in education. This education we bought very expensively. We are still buying it very expensively, yet we cannot get anything from it. We're not getting anything from it. A lot of things need to be put in order. This is a topic for another day. For today, I just beg that you give Kenyans some water. Please subscribe to my channel, share with friends, discuss amongst them, comment. I take negative comments, I take positive comments, because I believe this is not just a final word, this is a discussion. I take correction very, very nicely. Thank you so much.